I did lunge it. It just wasn't lunge. Like it wouldn't let me do all the
I believe you. Look,
situations.
sister, this goes on every time I'm on there. Okay,
Oh,
where
I
are you?
know.
Why aren't you on this? Why haven't you gone to Kuna Bomber yet and come in
Give me a moment.
so I can have this? Hey, everybody. Dolly Parton, her breasts are too big. Right hair, right color, bust too big. You know, let me see what.
The one with the doggy, right? The blue one.
No, it's just a little nasty old little dirty dog.
No, I'm talking about the like the blue background. Yeah, Dr. S1 Coon Buster.
No, that is not the.
Oh, the other one.
It's
Okay.
a no Kuna Bomber. I'm very, very precise. I now look at this. They took. Where is this thing? They didn't like my title. Oh yeah, they're messing with stuff tonight, y'all. I put all of this stuff up earlier. I come back to load it and it tells me it's all gone. So it's religious wars for religious whores. I hope you guys aren't religious whores. Is anybody religious whore on here? Do you do it for Jesus or do you do it for Allah? Who do you do it for? I'm a religious whore for reparation wars, okay? I want my MFM. And okay, we just went ahead and did this. Hold on, let me put this on here because this is ridiculous. Oh yeah, no, nobody's in my space now.
Just stay put. I'ma find you. Give me
Okay,
one moment.
what's okay, we they're just messing with this thing. Get ready for there to be all kinds of problems online. They don't like this. Yeah, I don't realize what some of us put up with. And we're not even doing anything that militant.
I got you, Doc. I'm here.
Okay, you're
And
here.
you
Now
can
let me
co-host
add
me.
you. Okay, there you go. All right, now I need to go in and touch a little personal thing at the bottom. Co-host, invite co-host.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, God, it's one. I just sent you an
Mm-hmm.
invite. I hope they let me take you. You know how they say
Um,
no. I mean, all of a sudden,
I'm looking for it. I didn't see it yet, but I'm
okay,
looking.
isn't that
I'll give it a
something?
second. Sometime it moves a little slow, but it should have populated by
They
now.
have you being a virgin up on here where you don't even get to be with nobody. Okay, it says that there are two co-host spots. Did it let you have it?
No, I haven't even seen nothing. It didn't. That go, brother. Invite me up to speak, and then I guess you can co-host me. Here, let me request.
Hmm.
Request.
Whew. Let me try this. Man, that is weird. Request to speak approve.
There we
Okay,
go. You
okay.
approved me.
Invite to
Okay.
co-host. I'll do it again. Invite to co-host. I don't really care. As long as we don't have bullshit up here. Let me go back. So if you both as listeners, I asked, they're not letting anyone co-host. Okay, guys, they're doing bullshit today. They're doing bullshit today. I am trying. Let me see if I can let speakers. I said invite to speak, invite to
There we
speak.
go.
Okay, invite to
Accept
co-host.
speaker invite.
I'm
Okay.
trying.
Accepting.
I am trying. Uh, and they also know how black people are. But look, as I said, let Black Truth be a speaker, but they didn't let you, Marion, be and send. Let me do that again. Uh,
Dr. Short, I just wanted to let you know you sent me a co-host invite and it made me a speaker instead. So I just wanted to let you know
oh, but it
I'm a
says on
speaker.
here,
I
it
can't be a
says that
co-host.
you're okay. Wow. I sent both. I didn't get it. Requested one.
Yeah,
Uh,
it made me into a speaker again, and it took one. So
co-host. Okay, it says I invited you. I'll do it again. It ain't me.
give it give it a second.
It's not okay. It let me ask him. Maybe this thing is gay and only let you ask for dudes with your man. I tried. Shit, this is annoying. This is really annoying, co-host. So let me cancel the invite. I'm gonna try it all over again. One, two, send. Okay, did you guys get an invite?
It just had actually canceled, and now you can read.
Okay, I'm gonna try. I want people to see that literally we know how to do this. We literally know how to do it. I'm gonna hit co-host at the top, but it's add. Well, you know what? Maybe it won't let me do this. Isn't this a bitch? I'm sitting here. Let me try this all over again. I told Mr. Black Truth, the problem ain't me. I ain't doing nothing. I want co-host, invite co-host. So I'm gonna do this all over again. One, two, send co-host invites. Okay. Did you guys get it yet? Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you. And let me clear this line, sister. If we don't get it here, I'm gonna just go ahead and record on here on the space and just leave it alone, because this is annoying. Just know, as I told you, all you have to do is try to come on a space with me, and everything stops working. And yes, they can jam, and these things are run through Israel, and they run all of this stuff. All you little weak ass evangelical fake ass black people. No, you don't have freedom of speech when it comes to those people
Doctor,
there. Did they give you what happened? Did you get through? Did you
no.
get no? No.
No, I was saying it was a little bit of feedback going on. That's
Well,
all.
there's going to be feedback. They do not
I
want, they
know.
don't want people to do what we're doing. We're not even talking about doing anything crazy. That's how
That's
much
all
they're
right.
watching
We're
black
getting ready to
people.
cook. Hmm.
So let's just go ahead. Well, I'm going to invite y'all to be speakers. Can I do that then? I'll try that. Is it giving me the chance to invite you as speakers? Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Let me go back to Kuna Bomber. This is so embarrassing. All I want to do is add other people. I don't even mind sharing. I don't care if somebody else does participates. It doesn't bug me. But you know what? We aren't friends. You aren't on my thing. Would that make a difference if you damn added me? I told you to do that and you didn't do it. Did you just circumvent and jump on and not?
I've been followed you, doctor. You have to follow me. You have
I
to
can't
request me because
find
I'm
you.
private.
Send me a message. I don't know what,
Okay.
because
Okay.
I can't do anything. Same thing with the other gentleman. If you guys aren't following me, that's the problem. It's not like I'm begging. I only have a few hundred people on here. It's not that hard. Okay. Have you written me? Who? Send me a message, anything. Okay, there's a request to speak. Who requested?
There you go. I sent it in your DM, so you can know. You should be able to.
Okay, it's going to be in my DM. Hmm. How do I get to my DM while I'm on this? Do I have to close the space to get to the DM?
Uh-uh. Uh-uh. You don't have to close the space.
Oh, I know. I know what I can do. There's another way to do it. I can go to you.
No, you just touch your like you swiping your phone, push your
Oh,
screen down and touch the envelope
it
down
says
there,
I'm
the other
follow.
things to show
I'm
up.
I'm following. So I am a follower of
Okay.
yours. So I think it's your account being locked. That's the issue.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in there and accept you if you
Well, I
said
mean, it
follow.
says
I'm
I'm
gonna go in.
following you.
I
It
knew. I
it says
thought
I'm
so.
following you already. So yours being locked is why that's the issue because I couldn't even
No,
find you.
I'm
Okay,
going in here
being
to
private.
follow you.
Okay, y'all. Cause oh my God, and all these
Go
people,
ahead.
this is so embarrassing. Okay, let me go back and see if I can. Uh, I'm gonna just cancel the invites all over again, and I'm gonna see if I can get a damn co-host. Cause I don't know people on here. I'm not trying to know everybody. Life is too difficult. Shoot, I want I want to be a. Let me see. And there's an invitation to speak. Let's see. Well, let's see if this works. And then I need to hang up and open this lineup because this is craziness. Otherwise, I'm going to close this off because this is an unverified account. Okay. Miriam, let me see if I can get you guys to be speakers if you can't host. This is weird. This is weird.
I just got my mic, so it's probably coming right up. I just wanted to circle back to what you said about them interfering and doing stuff to your feed and to your posts and to your space. I was in a space a few hours ago, and this white racist guy came in, and he was just with the same talking points. He was still doing, the same talking points about the Jews and about, us getting together. And all of a sudden, after about a couple of hours, he started glitching, and so he was being annoying, and the host muted him, and he talked through the mute, and then he started saying the same thing, just glitching. You know what I'm saying? He had some kind of he kept repeating himself and things like that, and then he accidentally said he was at work because we were trying to get him to say he was an AI bot. He was an AI bot, and she dropped him. She muted him. She dropped him off stage, and he was talking through all of it. Mutes, when you're muting someone, that cuts off everyone. But he kept talking even after she dropped him down to listener, and then when he disappeared, he was still talking, trying to engage, and we were trying to get him to say if he was working for Elon Musk or he was a part of Elon's, on the X payroll, but he did accidentally say, yeah, well, I'm at work. And so we figured out that he was either AI or a worker for Elon. But you're right, he was. It was just a whole psyop going on for a couple of hours too. He was in there telling us about not getting reparations. I mean, it was just crazy. So you're on the right trail. They are trying to intervene and interfere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thanks.
Well. Look, stay around because this is not a Jew bashing platform. I mean, I'm critical of practically anything and anybody. I'm very straight with people that whole bunch of us have Hebrew and Ashkenazi roots. So I'm not up here to preach hatred of Jews or anyone, but I will go off on my own crack dealing family members. Why wouldn't I criticize Bibi Netanyahu? Okay. I have friends that are Iranian, but it doesn't mean I want folk getting killed if they don't have a headscarf on. or allegations that someone could be killed for not having a hijab on. So, but you know what? Wicked, degenerate, nasty people are not fair and don't perceive that anybody isn't screwed up like they are. So that's how that is. Now, everybody, I want to first of all say MFM to all of you on behalf of the Angry Black Men's Book Club and Kuna Bomber, my my Twitter channel that they're not letting me have co-host on. I know how to use the app, and y'all wonder why I'm late sometimes. You have no idea. You know how to do it, and then nothing works. They absolutely bother people. You're going to see more of this as this war stuff picks up. They do not like, in particular, black people were never supposed to know how to read or write in this country. That's not part of the plan. Everything that we're doing now is outside of the plan. We're not supposed to read, travel. We're not supposed to be people. We don't even have souls. And we say that's in the past. If you're one of those dumb fuck black people who would only understand getting killed for dating someone and marrying someone interracially, well, hell, there's someone out there to kill you. Someone out there to screw you, set your house on fire, spray paint nigger in your house. And God hates the day. Maybe you need to have it. Maybe you need the front and back of your house desecrated for you to figure out you're not liked. You don't get it. We're not here to try to convince you. Nor are we here to tell you to hate other people, but you got to acknowledge that hatred exists. Just look at the wars going on. And so again, on behalf of the Angry Black Men's Book Club and Kuna Bomber, my Twitter page, we welcome you to have this discussion, religious wars for religious whores, because this is a religious war, and either for one cause or the other, you're some kind of religious whore. Either for a sports team, either for the Democratic Party, you want to kill babies, you're in one of these little stupid churches where little nigger preachers take all your money, or you think you're special and you're in a white church where everybody hates you, but at least you're the only black people there. You're some kind of religious whore to someone, okay? Even the Bible says man can't serve two masters. In other words, everybody's got something that they're a religious whore to. And you're going to like one thing and you're not going to like another. What we're dealing with now is that there are two sets of religious whores. They're Zionistic whores, and they are anti-Zionistic whores fighting. And I want to tell you what kind of whore I am. I'm a reparations, human rights, civil rights. I don't feel like being bothered with anybody else's shit. Whore. Okay? That's what I'm a whore for. I want restitution for the bullshit that happens in the United States of America. I do not support or vote for or ask other people to, I don't know. I don't ask other people to think or believe what I'm talking about. You will see it. But this is, and we are all some kind of religious hold to somebody. And we need to have this damn discussion today. Now, I know I have said yes to people. They're just really, you have mouthed off at the wrong person, Sister Miriam, because they will not let you speak on my channel. And we may have to find another way to do this. And this was unexpected. But this is crazy. And that's what we want to talk about. Now, I'm hoping that we get this on here. Did you get to speak? So, do you have a damn microphone? I'm checking.
I do. I have one, doctor.
Okay. So, I want you two sisters to open your mics up. But let's just give a little background because I'm going fast. This technological fuckery that we're dealing with has thrown off how I would have otherwise done it. In fact, let me just ask White Jesus for some help with his friends. Hey, say hi to White Jesus. And I'm going to get another one. I'm going to get a mulatto Jesus. He
Try
won't.
my black Jesus. Try my black Jesus.
No, no, no. Do you have a black Jesus?
They don't
Yeah,
take
I have a black Jesus.
You have a black Jesus plush toy? I can't find one. All of the ones are white. So it's, I guess the market dictates. That means even black people buy white Jesus toys for their kids. So I tried to find a black one. I failed. Maybe he doesn't exist. So I'll just stick to the white one until you could do better. Same way we black people stick to white banks, white businesses, and everything else. Why not have a white Jesus? Now, when there is a black Jesus that performs at least on half the level of what white Jesus is, so at least one that can provide second class citizenship that I can buy over Amazon, please send me a message. In fact, I'm willing to have like a world heavyweight championship boxing competition between black and white Jesus, and whichever one wins, that's the one I'm going to believe in. If the white one loses, I'll believe in the black one, although I'm very suspicious. And if the white one wins, which I'm more optimistic about because I've been brainwashed and manipulated in America, if the white Jesus wins, then I'm going to believe in him, and I won't care what none of you guys think, because Jesus got everything I need. Amen. But speaking of religious wars, I had been talking on our Sabbath when we do talk about God and there's no cussing. Oh, that's such a chore. We've been talking about these racist evangelical white people who make up maybe 70 million Americans are like totally fucked up racist people who support every evil satanic thing ever done. That kill the Indians, kill the blacks, kill the Aboriginals, kill the Maoris in New Zealand, kill the Aboriginals in Australia. They support apartheid, they support Hitler, they support segregation, Jim Crow, they support the mass murder of the Palestinians, they support the killing of the Afghanis, they support the Vietnamese getting killed, the Koreans getting killed. There's nobody that these fake ass satanic people who call themselves Christian that are white, there's never a human cause if the people aren't white that they give a damn about. They always support whatever bad is happening to them. And because white supremacy, white racism isn't a sociological problem, it is a religion. And the devil is non-white people in particular. Black people are the devil of devils. In particular, foundational black Americans are the most evil people on earth that have to be destroyed. The reason that they support Israel isn't because the Khazarians are the original Hebrews. They support them because they're the white ones who converted. The same way the original Americans, if you're familiar with history, are black, brown, and red people. But now the concept of an American is white. And if these little greasy, grifty, liar, white South Africans convince you they're the original people in South Africa, when everyone knows they came over from Europe, from Holland, from France, from Netherlands, from Germany. Their concept is that the earth belongs only to them, and the rest of us are basically the children of the devil. This is a fact. I've gone through this. You can look it up. It's called serpent seed doctrine. Non-white people are the products of the devil raping Eve in the Garden of Eden. We can't be helped. We can't be saved. We just killing us all off is God's will. You have to understand that Arabs, Iranians, Palestinians, basically everybody that's not pasty white, everybody that's not stealing other people's natural resources and enslaving and invading them over the last 500 years, are roadkill that needs to get wiped out so God's will can be done. And therefore, most of the people that you look at are religious whores for genocide, segregation. I'm telling you, there's practically never any instance where their religious beliefs line up with anything in the Bible. They do not like the Bible. In fact, they even made a Bible that they like called the Slave Bible that removed all kinds of stuff in it so they could just do to hell what they wanted to black people. That includes pedophilia, rape, cutting people's genitals off, eating people, making leather out of their skin. Everything they bitched about in Nuremberg that the Nazis did to the Jews, supposedly, happened here in America to us. And they'll tell you it's God's will. And so that little bitch, Paula White, little ugly, little scrawny, whorish thing that hangs up around Trump, all of them have their roots in these very satanic white men like Branham, like Dowie. I mean, I'm just giving you names. At some point, you're free to email me and I can send you names or information or books or references that these people have this religious racism, British Israelism. We could just spend hours. It's heavy in apostolic Christianity, the United Pentecostal Church, Assemblies of God. A lot of these churches are full of their leadership of Klansmen, racists, segregationists, Nazis. Most of them. All the little nasty, grifty, begging white folks talk about planting a seed on television, they all have their roots and these manipulator, faith-healing people that believe blacks are subhuman. And therefore, they believe Palestinians are subhuman. Not that our fight is theirs, but the same people that hate them hate us. Let me make this clear. The Palestinians in World War II, their main leader, Mufti al-Husseini, he was running with Hitler. Okay, black people never ran with Hitler, okay, ever. So this is why, we need to be careful about where we align. I need to remind you that Reza Shah, the last Shah, Mohammed Reza Shah, the last Shah of Iran, his father got kicked out of Iran 84 years ago because he supported Hitler. And there are a whole bunch of people in the Islamic world that look to the Nazis for liberation from European people, from white folks. And therefore, they saw the Germans as a wild card. And there's a long history of a lot of people. They may be a little browner or a little lighter than us, but they've been able to kind of like get closer to white folk. White folk kind of like them a little bit more for whatever reason. They've been willing to be used. The biggest Nazi party or Nazi affiliated groups in the world are in India. Not even in Europe. Just telling you, there are a whole lot of people who want to hook up with white supremacy if they think they're going to be on the winning side. We see this with tethers and immigrants and illegals in America. So this is why I'm saying to you, I'm not a religious whore for anybody's cause except for foundational black Americans. I'm on strike. I don't care who it is. I don't care who's getting screwed. I don't like it. I don't want folk bombing nobody. I don't want anybody killing anyone anywhere. But my thing is I want my motherfucking money before it's spent all on killing another group of people somewhere else who might be cool in their country but would hate the shit out of me once they get here. Real talk. Because the Iranians that are in California, I can't say that they are necessarily friends to black Americans. They come over and assimilate. In fact, there are a whole bunch of Iranians that have come to America who are now with the white evangelicals because they want to get Reza Shah's son to be king of Iran again so they can get money and steal like they used to do. Therefore, they're now all evangelicals with the craziest ass white people in the country. I've even had an Iranian tell me right here in the federal courthouse, the Perryman's courthouse, where they have all the federal cases in D.C., right across the street from the Capitol, tell me he wanted the United States to bomb Iran. There are Iranians in America, close to 1 million deep. Many of them are celebrating this bombing. They're thrilled. Do you see what I'm saying? So you can get yourself into trouble here if you tell an Iranian that you feel bad about the war. If you're not talking to an Iranian that's for the Islamic Republic, they will trip on you. That's another reason why we black folks need to stay out of other people's stuff. I repeat, I don't want anyone bombed. I think it's wrong to attack and blow up other people's stuff. I think it's wrong to have a peace negotiation and then, you plan to pass a knife or a gun to someone else to shoot you. On general principle, that's wrong. At the same time, I can't lose sight of the fact that the Iranian government, even this one here, with all the problems that they have, want to do business with the government of the United States. They want to be cool with the same people that don't want you to have Medicaid, Medicare, Obamacare. They don't want you to have SNAP. They don't want you to have regular jobs. They want to let 20 million people in the country to erase our asses. They kind of see it and they know, but they're trying to take care of theirs. They're down for their own, and there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong for us to want our motherfucking money. For all the cotton picked, all the rice picked, all the apples, peaches, all the oranges. You had slavery in Florida until the 1960s in this country. Black folks enslaved made all that damn Florida orange juice that your asses drink. That was picked by enslaved black people in my goddamn lifetime. We need our motherfucking money. Before this empire goes broke, before this shit goes down, we need, while the dollar has spending value, because at the rate we're going, one day they'll be willing to give us all $1 billion. The $1 billion won't be able to buy you a box of condoms or Kleenex. We don't want our money owed to us spent killing another group of people whose natural resources are being stolen, or they're being the victims of white folks taking shit that's not theirs. Now, we can't do their fighting for them. They definitely won't do anything to help us. So it's incumbent on us to understand we're in a state of war to get our money. In the words of 50 Cent, if I don't get my money, I'm going to rob and steal. We've got to get ours. Don't get distracted. Don't listen to fat-ass T.D. Jakes. Don't let the boule. I don't care if they're Republican or Democrat. I don't care who you voted for. Had you voted for Kamswala, I told Roseanne Barr when I took pictures with her 2 weeks ago that Kamala Harris and them used to role play being hoes on 14th Street where all the prostitutes were. And some of them I heard sold pussy. Anybody I went to school with selling pussy, snorting cocaine, I'm not going to vote for them to be president, okay? And I just don't care. On top of that, you locked up black people, had niggas fighting forest fires for minimum wage. I don't trust you. You already let me do. You don't like me. So, and her husband is connected to Mossad. And in fact, let's just do this. All the people that support Israel blindly in America are called CNM. CNM are American or Jews outside of Israel that are basically assets or agents of the Mossad or the government of Israel to help the government of Israel achieve its end. I'm not even saying they can't do that. I mean, if you're for Israel, you're for Israel. You're Jewish, you're a Jew. I mean, nothing wrong with you, but understand, you have the right to be who you are, but if you mistreat other people, there are laws of the universe, sowing and reaping. If you like mass murder and bomb and kill and steal and destroy, I'm a Christian. It says according to what you give, you'll receive. If I give out hell, if I give out cluster bombs, if I give out starvation, if I give out all this kind of stuff, terrorism and so forth, then it comes back to me. Under the measure in which you give, you receive. It says, as a man sows, so shall he reap. If I sow bullshit, if I sow violence, if I sow war, if I steal other people's property, if I do this, someone's going to do it to me. In fact, that extends to white Americans who don't get it. And the other thing I'm going to say to you, keep your black asses out of the United States Armed Services. Don't go in now. If you've been broke, be broke a couple more months. Lit hog shit. Or Hegseth. Let him fight up. These people want all this stuff. They got to hate everybody. Hate everybody's different color, hair texture, religion. If you're a religious whore around your skin color, or then you die in a religious war. And this is a religious war. Because on the other side, the Iranians have their thing, their fatwa, their religious order from their Ayatollah. They believe and they're committed to, I'm talking about the religious ones that are observant, that their mission is to bring down the foreign occupation of Al-Quds, Jerusalem, the Holy Land, Al-Quds. And they have Al-Quds Day, and they celebrate that they're going to ultimately kick those people's asses out of Israel. This has been going on since 1980, so it's 45 years, way before today, and it is religious. Iran is a theocracy with a democratic element that they elect certain people, but who they don't elect are the Supreme Islamic Council at the top. And in Shia, and they're serious, they're not like Sunni. For the Shia, they've got the Ayatollahs. The Ayatollah literally speaks for God, the word of God. Ayatollah, Allah, the word of Allah is in his mouth. If that man says, we're going to lose 10 million lives to beat American Israel, that shit's a done deal. I want to tell you, and you're in my lifetime, just 10 years ago or 11 years ago, when they were fighting the Islamic Caliphate, Iceland, all these other kind of people. Oh, wow. 1 dead and 9 wounded at a Juneteenth thing. We'll pick that up a little bit later. Somebody tell me if you can find that and bring that to me. There's a Juneteenth shooting. That's the kind of shit I need to stop. That's the religious whore I am. I want to stop black on black killing, hating. I'm sick of black pork chop feminists, baby killing, lying whores. I'm tired of sperm dropping, black women beaten, black women killing, black baby killing, black women abandoning, black family abandoning, backstabbing, brotherfucker, bisexual, AIDS spread niggas. I'm tired of that shit. That's the war I want to fight right here. Clean our dirty black asses up and make us right with God and those who came before us, so we're around 20 years, 50 years, 100 years from now. That's the kind of shit I want to fight for. The beefs that stupid ass white people have with everybody else, and by the way, the empire's fucking going down anyway, faster than Drano in a clogged up sink. We need to stay out of it. All sides hate us any fucking way. Iran is the same root of the word Aryan, like Aryan nations, people who kill us here. I'm not mad at Iranians, but those lighter skinned people, they're the ones that created that slave system, that's the caste system in India that fucked over the black people like 2,000 years ago, more than 2,000. They've had 3,500 years of color-based slavery, racism, and genocide in India. So, again, I don't hate anyone. I think Iranians, pretty nice people. There's some very nice Jewish people. I'm very straight with people. I've got lots of Jewish lineage. I even have Iranian lineage. I found that from DNA thing. All of us human beings are connected in some way. So, like I said, you're never going to get me up here telling you that white people are all bad as a collective, although most of them don't do anything about the fucked up ones in their group, which basically means there's a consensus amongst them not to do anything about the ones that want to fuck with us, which basically makes them fellow travelers with white people that do evil. That's going to catch up with people's asses. And that tends to be that way when people don't see there's a consequence. That if I walk with people or I turn a blind eye to lynch mobs, Black Wall Street massacres and shit like that, that just one day someone's going to turn a blind eye when someone kicks my ass. Just saying. Again, back to the Bible. Sowing and reaping. And we've had 550 years of people who came up with this concept of white, which is a suicide cult. The same way Coon or Boule is a suicide cult, except it's a murder-suicide. They're going to help kill us off and then die for white people. That white suicide cult that's had power and gone around and invaded everybody. Their shit's running out. Iran tends to be the graveyard of empires, just like Afghanistan. America's had a whole lot of fucking luck. Because America's gone a lot of places where people usually don't come back from. They were in Vietnam. The Vietnamese were able to tell the Mongols to fuck off. One of the strongest empires in all history, the Vietnamese, basically said, fuck it then. And the Mongols didn't win. The Afghanis drove everybody crazy. Drove Alexander the Great, almost made him straight. They gave him so many headaches. The Iranians destroyed the Roman army and sent the emperor's head back to Rome on a platter. I always say that America patterns itself after Rome. Could it be almost a deja vu that a country that patterns itself after Rome goes to war with the one country Rome couldn't beat, and then they end up getting their heads served to them? I also want to say to you, back to the Ayatollah, in my lifetime, when they were fighting with this American, French, British, Israeli, Turkish thing called ISIS or ISIL, that they gave the money. Obama funded it. All of y'all voted for that faggot who never did shit for us. And no, I don't give a fuck about Obama. I don't care. I don't want to be friends to anybody on here. If you guys are Obama voters, fuck you. If you don't regret voting for Barack Obama, not that they're going to put up a good white person, but if this sorry-ass half-breed who wasn't about shit, even Michelle can't stand him anymore. Whether she's a man or a woman, she wants to move the fuck out. In fact, he should really love her if he's a man, because he's not in the woman any goddamn way. You can't prove me. Shit, I don't believe it. You can't make me believe it. Okay? You can't. And I would say to anybody, 9 years ago, around this time, I was having dinner with Dick Gregory. Me and my friends had like a 9-hour conversation. And Dick Gregory was just telling us how Jesse Jackson was down low. He agreed, Faggots down low. It's true. all of these people are compromised. They've never been about shit for us. But getting back to ISIS, Ayatollah Sistani, the Shia Pope for Iraq, who's buddies with Ayatollah Khomeini in Iran, said, we don't like these fuckers in ISIS and this Islam, this caliphate. We didn't sign off on that shit. I want 1 million people. I want 1 million men to go kill these people. He got 2 or 3 million people in a weekend. Because it wasn't a politician, it wasn't one of our grifty preachers trying to get 10% of our income. This was the God of the universe, channeled through the mouth of Ayatollah Sistani, that said, kill these fuckers. And they went out and just started killing everybody. That shit ended real fast. It was over. There are anywhere between 350 to 400 million people that are Shia in this world, if not more. Maybe 500 million, because they never count anything right that they don't like. If just a small percentage of these people decided that they wanted to punish everything connected to Israel in the United States, I can't imagine, damn. I can't even imagine what that means, because we don't have enough military personnel to fight 250 million Shia. And God forbid if any of the Sunni Muslims who are sick of Israel, even if they don't like Shia Islam that they see as heretical, sort of how Catholics see Protestants. What if a percentage of the Sunnis say, you know what, fuck Israel, fuck America, fuck the West, we don't give a damn. There are 1.5 billion Sunni Muslims in this world. Small percentage of them decide, we're gonna die, we're gonna go to heaven, we're gonna have some dewy-eyed virgins, but we're gonna hurt these people that have blasphemed our God, have occupied sacred lands. They went from Dar al-Salam, place of peace when it was Muslim rule, to Dar al-Harb, which means it's ruled by infidels, a place of wickedness or darkness. We're willing to die for this shit. I want to also go back and remind people, just within the last 6 months, the Yemenis offered Hezbollah 600,000 men to fight Israel. 600,000 Yemenis. And that wouldn't be all of what they had, is more than what the United States is prepared to deploy right now. Yemen has a population of maybe 40, 45 million people. Let's say it's 50, and they don't count right. If the United States has 340 million people and can't put 500,000 men on the ground, and America can't afford to put 50,000 on the ground to go into Yemen, which is why Yemen won the most recent conflict between the United States and Yemen. Yes, Trump's ass lost. They're used to being bombed. They're used to being starved. They're used to being at war. They've been fighting since the damn 1960s. They've been fighting for 60 years. You're going to bomb them for a couple of days? That's not moving anyone. These same Yemenis have promised to fire their missiles at our carrier groups. How many people on a carrier? Somewhere between 4,500, 6,500 people on a carrier. You only need one missile to hit that thing for you to kill a few thousand people. You think they just have one missile? They only have one at a time, or do they save them strategically? Do you realize, and I don't want anybody attacking anybody. Let me make this clear. I live in Washington, D.C. I live close to the Capitol. I live close to the White House. If anybody bombs D.C., it will hurt me. I don't want no wars from nobody. That's number one. So I don't want America to invade Iran. I don't want Iran. I don't want nothing. No. But we're just little broke-ass black people, let's be honest. We're only strong if we're a collective. That's why they won't let us do shit on social media. They're afraid of us caucusing. So I don't want anybody to attack anyone. I don't think Iran's going to attack anyone. Iran hasn't attacked any of its neighbors in hundreds of years. America has been at war most of its 250 years. In fact, all of its 250 years, if you count its attack on us as Aboriginal and African Moorish mixes or European mixes, America's been at war for 250 years. All the different Indian tribes fighting in Puerto Rico, fighting in the Philippines, fighting in Cuba, fighting in Haiti, the Dominican Republic, fighting in Nicaragua, fighting in what? China. They've had a war too with China. Yeah, they did. They had a war with Russia. Yes, they did. Right after World War I. America has had hundreds of wars. These people are always fucking with somebody. But nobody has really invaded America since the War of 1812. That's like what? 213, actually, listen, 210 years ago was the last time a foreign army posed any threat to the United States at the Battle of New Orleans. And black men won the day for no good Andrew Jackson. Okay, and a big victory for America, right? And the British Navy tried to come in Lake Champlain. A mulatto by the name of Commodore Perry blocked them. Real talk. Of course, blacks from Canada and the surrounding D.C. area helped burn D.C. down. But there's been no real invasion of the United States. The United States invades everyone else. And if they don't invade, they use proxies, so they're wars. So there are tens of millions of dead people and victims all over the world. Not only economic people, economic victims, children starving to death and unclean water and this, that, and the other. America's death toll of what it's promoted is in the scores of millions of people. God's judgment's going to hit this country. Not just our abortions, but promoting abortion around the world. Promoting unsafe contraceptives and drugs, selling weapons, genetically modified food. This is a very violent and vile society. You get where I'm coming from. And so that's what I'm going to say to you. And so this religious war, now let's just get back to this so we're clear. These racist ass people, now we're going to bring it home, right, to America. These white evangelicals believe that these fake, I should say, these pseudo or wishful Hebrews, which are the actual descendants of the people in the Bible, which isn't the case. They know it's not true. That's why they don't do DNA testing and other things. But the racist white Americans who, trust me, if Israel were full of real Hebrews, you wouldn't have to worry about any more of your tax money going to Israel. They would cut all that money off because this is a race thing. And again, I've said to you, race is a religious thing. The Ku Klux Klan and these people meet in churches. There's a whole lot of Klansmen and other folks that are religious leaders, Nazis. I can't do a damn thing about that, Miriam. They're going to fuck with the sound. If you can't hear me in Twitter, you can come to the Angry Black Man Book Club and you can listen to it in YouTube. I can't do anything about it. So tell me about that. That shit's annoying. I told y'all from the onset, they're going to mess with these things and make it very, very difficult for us to do what we could do. They do not want you to think. They're looking forward for you to be stupid, black, I don't know, cannon fodder for their wars. I would say to you, keep your ass in home. Even if Iranians did call you nigger, you wouldn't know it because you don't speak their language. So we don't need to fight for nobody. The Israelis have gotten tens of billions of dollars, not just the appropriation for arms, but the settlement money that you don't hear about, that Israel may get $2 or $3 billion in additional money to help bring people into Israel. That's how they build up all the settlements to kick the Palestinians out, right? And I want to say to you, because I'm going to speak to you from what I lived. Many, many years ago, I used to be a contractor to do work in the State Department as a butler. Sort of like that movie that Oprah did with Forrest Whitaker. I used to do that shit. And what happened when Condoleezza Rice had Mahmoud Abbas, who is a Palestinian traitor leader for the Palestine Authority, who is an agent of America and Israel, who doesn't do anything for his Palestinian people, just like the Congressional Black Caucus, the National Congress of Black Churches, and all the bullshit stuff that we have in this country amongst our people. This shit ain't new. And this shit is universal. It's real simple. Mahmoud Abbas, I saw him in the Secretary of State's private dining room with Elliot Abrams and other people, ask her for weapons and ammunition to kill fellow Palestinians and to get Israel to accept the Palestine Authority soldiers or police having weapons to kill fellow Palestinians to bring them under control. I repeat, this ain't some shit I read. I sat there looking at their asses eat soup. I think it was like a orange squash or honey nut squash or butternut squash soup. Talk about killing fellow Palestinians, killing off his rivals. We talk about Hamas, the same people. This is what, 20 years ago, September 2005. Go look it up. Mahmoud Abbas and Condoleezza, I was fucking there. The reason I'm bringing it up, why we can't jump and get into anybody else's shit, is that it's complicated. We haven't even figured our own stuff out here. We haven't delineated and gotten rid of our coons, our collaborators, our traitors, our boule scum, our liar preachers, our fake imams, our traitors. We have contradictions in our community we've got to work out if we're going to even get any of what we expect to get. We can't go off into another group of people's issues because it's deep water that we don't know nothing about. The shit is still, but it's deep as hell. So I'm not surprised at all about this shit with Hamas now and people killing each other. And the Palestine Authority, as I'm speaking to you right now, is helping to hunt down and kill Palestinian activists on the West Bank in service of Israel. And you're not going to see it in the news, and you're not going to hear about that and how good they live and how their people are starving. It's the same way you don't hear about boule folks' kids going to jail with them getting shot or being the victims of hate crimes, because they serve the interests of America and Israel doesn't run America. That's a goddamn lie. Israel is a state of America, if not a colony. Israel exists at the pleasure of America for America to have literally a land-based aircraft carrier to control the oil fields, where the energy that fuels modern industrial society and all the world. America needed a presence that was unmovable, a presence that could cut off the Suez Canal, a presence that could shut down the Red Sea, a presence that could be a real problem in the Persian Gulf, and people loyal to other white people that wouldn't be religious whores for Islam or some other religion like Druze or Alawite, these different sects that are sort of Islamic, but they're not so. So Israel does not run America. America hides. And this is an old game that the white elite of Europe, or the European rich banking families that are noble royal types, have always used some Jews as middlemen, as their henchmen, their bankers, to do their dirty work. And then when things got rough, they blamed Jews for what they had the Jews do. Not all Jews, but some Jews, and Jews as a collective. Jewish people had nothing to do with it, got caught up. It's the same way that the liberals and the conservatives have these black scum figures who are full of shit, do stuff that we don't even like. And yet you'll watch these conservatives and other people do talking points about tethers or other people masquerading as black Americans who hate us over people we don't even know. So Jewish people are caught up in the game, one way or the other, right? Once you're in, so it's sort of like in America with racism. O.J. Simpson, whatever happened with him and the trail of trash he was with, all we black men have had to pay for this shit. That's between OJ and the bitch he was fucking and buying drugs for. But we pay for it because of the association, the collective hatred and punishment. Jewish folks have been collectively punished and hated as a group for what some of them have done. I'm not saying that some of them haven't done wrong stuff, but to punish the whole group for a few It's never cool. And we know what that's like. So someone black does something stupid, and we're like in the news, God, please don't let all of us have to pay for some Negro that's out of his mind. Now, on the other hand, white folks who do stuff en masse to other people demand that we cherry pick and find the one Klansman that's the grand dragon. Shit, I want the whole fucking clavering. I don't just want one. So Jewish people are pawns. They are not all powerful. They're not all billionaires. They don't have everything and never have. Were that the case, Hitler and other people couldn't have gassed and done all that stuff to people. So a few Jews are the super rich types, the Gates, but ain't all Jews. Okay, there's some blacks that do this stupid stuff. Lizzo, Sexy Red, Clyburn, Hakeem Jeffries, Oprah Winfrey, but they ain't all of us. The royal families in Europe used Jewish people because they weren't connected to the masses of the people to do things that they couldn't get the ordinary people to do to one another because of a sense of loyalty between the people. And whenever things would get really rough, they would blame Jews and let the people go out and kill and hate and massacre Jewish people while they laughed all the way to the bank. The same thing happens with blacks in America when the economy gets bad. Like in 2008, they blame blacks for subprime loans for causing the failure in the economy, not greedy, liar, grifter, rich white folk on Wall Street. No, none of them have been arrested. And since 2008, ruined the whole economy, thousands of suicides, people couldn't afford medical bills, homeless people, not one arrest. These same people are going to come onto these sites and blame Jews and tell you, hate Jews, 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 Jews. Not exactly. I'm not saying that Khazarians are Hebrews. I already went through that. A Hebrew is a Hebrew. A Khazarian can be a convert to Judaism, and they're following the Mishnah, they're following the stuff in the Talmud, they're looking at the Kabbalah, they're Jew, but not a Hebrew Jew, not of the bloodline of the Hebrew. That's not them. But I didn't say they weren't Jewish. And so I'm very clear. I'm not into trying to get y'all to hate nobody. And you and I are more likely to have a Hebrew lineage than this Russian or Belarusian, Polak, Satan Yahoo. These folks are as Hebrew as my damn thermos is here. However, the reason that this lie is so acceptable because these religious whores, so-called evangelical Christian identity, all of these nasty, dirty, white supremacist types have this idea of white people being God's people. Now, mind you, this creates a problem because you can't be as pale and crusty as a lot of these people are and live in that climate. I mean, Israel and Australia and other places that white folks have invaded and taken over, they have a major health problem. It's called skin cancer, melanoma, because their skin isn't adapted to be in that climate. If you were from there, normally and naturally, your skin wouldn't mind being in the heat and the sun. But if you're not from there, if you're really from Latvia, Lithuania, you're from Finland, Denmark, Northern Germany, you're from Moravia, right? Then you're used to being at a different latitude with less sunlight. You've got all the diseases, you've got multiple sclerosis and stuff from the Baltic region. You don't belong down there biologically, and your own body does not dig being subjected to the temperature and the climate. Not me. I'm not telling you to get out. I'm not telling you where you could be or not be. I'm only saying your own body don't like you being there. And I didn't tattoo you. I didn't take your property. I didn't make you wear a yellow star. I'm not taking you to a camp. Nothing like that. I'm only saying your own skin says, why are you subjecting me to this much radiation from the sun? I need to be someplace where it's cooler, where there are more pine trees, where there's less sunlight, where there are like two seasons, very cold and cold. I'm sorry. You got long winters and all, so you can be depressed and be drunk all week to get through. They're not meant to be down there. I'm not trying to bother nobody. Look at how Palestinians getting bombed. They don't even but they're out in the sun and they're okay. They're used to being there. They've got the melanin to handle it. They've got the vitamin D. You don't. No picking, no hatred, just science. Now, these white folks who want everything to be white, even bowel movement if it has some use, right? They want it white. And that's why everything good is white. And if we're not careful, in about 20 years, Martin Luther King, Michael Jackson, Muhammad Ali, almost everybody, everything that ever did anything was white. They've literally gone through like any conquering empire and destroyed all the history and rewrote it to make themselves more than what they actually are. And that's why they like these white Khazarian Jews and why people like Igbos in eastern Nigeria or the Limba people and others in Africa have more Aaronic DNA. I'm talking about Hebrew DNA going back to ancient Israel than anybody that you'll see in the cabinet and the government of Israel today. These are all European pretenders, usurpers. I didn't say they weren't Jewish, but they're usurping something that God promised Hebrews, not Khazarians. In the Bible, Khazarians are known as the Scythians, the Scythians. These are slave trading, warlike, wicked ass people. Go look it up in the Bible. They're just not that decent people, says the Bible. Don't blame me. I didn't write it. And you fuckers impose Christianity on us. Don't tell me I got to take it back because it doesn't fit your stupid ass, racist, apostate, Nazified, fake, blonde-haired or blue-haired, blonde-eyed God idol that you serve that supports all atrocities committed against humankind. So I can't be pimped, and we won't be your bottom bitch for this stupid shit that y'all on, okay? I'm ready to take questions because we're going to do this for like an hour or so. I'm about ready. Okay, I can take questions. Oh, look, Asha Smith. Oh, gosh.
Yes, Sister Aja is there. Send her a mic.
We're going to try. I mean, I don't care. Everybody knows I don't give a damn about YouTube and let me see. When I say add speakers, it doesn't give me the people in the room.
Turn your thing to work speakers, and then
there it is.
should show
I
up.
got it. I got it.
Mhm.
And so yeah. So we can have this conversation. I repeat, I don't want nobody to die. I don't even want any Nazi racist sailors on the sea to die. I don't want anyone. I'd like for everybody to love each other, and just that's never going to happen. I learned that growing up in the trailer park. If I'm fucked up like this, white people did this to me. My parents would teach me to love everybody, and people spit and throw rocks at you because you were black. I'm trying to figure out why do they hate us so much, and ask them. And says a person told me, I don't need a reason to hate you. You're black. So I came to accept that some people are like that. They completely hate us. We can't win. We can't impress upon them that we're just people that want to live. They don't buy it. What they will understand is a divine ass whipping beat down from God that's coming. And I'm saying to you, every empire in the end gets the shit kicked out of it. American exceptionalism is a fucking lie, white America. And you will get a Stalingrad and a Dien Bien Phu and a Waterloo, and y'all going to get fucked up at some point. And Iran is as good a candidate, if not Iran, North Korea. Someone's going to fuck y'all up, and you're not going to be able to unfuck yourselves. And you'll still hate black people. We get that because, we haven't had the desire to do to you what you've done to us. But these younger black people that you've like removed all the teachers from the school, all the music, destroy everything that could give any dignity or integrity. You fucked up the family. Y'all have created a generation or generations of black barbarians that are just as crazy as you are. And they don't listen to us because you've introduced with this weaponized music a generation gap. Y'all made this shit forcing our community. You killed C. Dolores Tucker through congestive heart failure. Anybody that could have given us a better outcome, you've destroyed. So you deserve the outcome. Again, the Bible says, as a man sows, so shall he reap. You've sown bullshit, hatred, discrimination. Well, it's going to be done to you. And I don't want it to be done, but damn, we're telling you, if you would just like everybody, even Martin Luther King with his pants unzipped, has more sense than all the leadership of white folks wrapped together. And that's what Dr. King cheating on his wife, tipping, was making more sense than anybody in the Cato Institute and all you little white think tanks that promote all this racial hatred and war everywhere. Now, let's see if we can take some questions. I sent you a mic. Can you get it, Sister A, or is it blocking you? Mm.
Well, I'll start with a statement.
But
First
I'm
of
trying.
all,
But can she hear me? Did she get it? Because I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
you may have to send a request again. I don't know if she got it or
No, she
if
got
she
an
can even
invite.
hear.
I'm gonna. Okay, wait a minute. We'll try it again. So you can start, Queen. Let's see if we can get. If we don't, I don't know. I gotta turn this fan on. It is hot down here. Woo.
Okay. First of all, I am American. I'm a foundational Black American, so my interest is with America. Now, I do not agree with America's white moral compass because they have interests in controlling other people, resources, and also controlling them. My interest is solely risk because this country owes us our reparations. And like you said, Dr. Short, MFM, we need our money. Cut the check. We need our tangibles, reparations, and we still need to also concentrate on them, pushing these the immigration. We need to have these people deported, these illegal aliens. So we still doing our delineation movement in full force and always keeping our eyes on the concentration of our reparations, because this warmongering devil will always be at war with somebody, because they're always dis-ease with somebody. It's all the greed is driven by the elites, the greed, the control, and gobbling up other resources while we work our fingers to the bone with our tax money, but yet we don't have our protections. We don't, they use every excuse in the book to deflect from our reparations, and we're going to get it because we're going to keep pressing this government to get it. So there's always a war stirring here or there, and yes, it's amoral anytime that you go and take other people's resources by war means. But this is the way of the elite. This is how they get down. They want our families to go die in these wars. Well, we're not doing it. FBA free and not stepping through and signing up for nobody wars to die on the behalf of the elites anymore. If it's not about our own struggles here in this country and them passing an anti FBA hate crime bill, all this anti-black hate that is practiced against us, not only from the so-called ruling class, but also all these bumper classes that they enlist to do things on with their anti-black histories and culture that they have. It's insane. And just like the my next point is moving on to the Boeing Airlines. Look at them. They just paid $1 billion or $500 million so that they wouldn't have to go to jail. They literally paid the fines so that they wouldn't have to go to jail and be tried for all those airplane crashes that have happened, and they've killed, hundreds of people, many hundreds of people. And it's wild what the elite is able to get away with. It's just insane to me, and I'll yield my time for now.
Well, that's so white of you. I thank you. And let me see. Let's see. I don't. Hold on. Let me mute everybody and see if I can add someone. Hold on. Okay. Yep, I tried to do that. We're just going to have problems on this app.
Send me a co-host again.
I did.
I
did.
Oh,
I already did.
okay.
And just they're working. They're working. So that's okay. Have you reached out to Nikki? She's probably doing a space with someone.
I did, and I think she's running quite busy. She's doing a number of things.
Okay, no, that's okay. That's okay.
Mhm.
Let me see. We'll have to do it differently then, because I don't mind. But look, I want to go back to this religious war piece and say to you that it's part of the eschatology of Shia. Eschatology means end times, like there's going to be an end of time and religious teaching. And part of what they're taught is that there's going to be a lot of fighting and killing that's going to happen. So a lot of people have been ready for this their whole life. And they are ready to die for and kill for what they believe in. The people here who just want to have sex on the beach, go to Diddy parties, get high, and just live to one's nerve endings, that ain't reality for a lot of people in the world. American people who've been secularized again by our Khazarians who attack all religious belief except for their own, have made everybody secular. Any reference to God or Bible or truth pisses them off unless it's something that they find interesting, right? Well, what happens when you're dealing with people where there is this God, where there is some kind of truth, where these things matter? What you do. And these folks don't mind dying or killing or hurting or maiming. They feel like, shoot, well, may as well. So these people are prepared for this. This is part of Islamic teaching that there's gonna be a sorting. The Mahdi, the Messiah, the Islamic Messiah is coming back, and he's going to set things in order, and he's going to be based out of Jerusalem. I repeat, not in Mecca, not in Medina, not in Karbala, not in Qom, but in Jerusalem. Do you understand? In order for that to be means there's going to have to be a change. and how things are run in Jerusalem for Islamic eschatology to be fulfilled as a prophecy. Now, if you have all these usurpers here that hate Islam, that want to blow up the Dome of Rock, and they want to build a new Hebrew temple, Solomon's Temple 3.0, on top of Al-Aqsa Mosque, that means there's got to be a fight, a religious war for religious whores. And they're ready to go. I don't think Israelis, a population that is disproportionately atheistic, about, I'd say about 60% of Israelis have no affiliation with any religion. And then you got the Orthodox Israelis that don't believe in fighting in wars. And then you've got like a super gay population. They just want like bust booties and shit. They're not up to fighting these hundreds of millions of outraged Muslims. There've got to be some suckers. They need some substitute temporary religious whores to stand in their place. And thanks to the dumb fuck evangelical apostates and their little slave camp following, running dog nigger preachers who are talking all this dumb shit, and they're out there. Many of them are Republican. That's where you and I come in. And so in reality, it is a whole thing to get us away from getting reparations, from getting what we're due. Where's our damn money? Where's our Holy Land? What about our Holocaust repair? See, our shit's not matching up. And
Exactly.
I don't need to do this for hours with anyone, but to say to you, black people fought in World War I and World War II, and even in Korea, they desegregated the military with the optimism that things would get better. Fought in the American Revolution, fought in the Civil War, thinking that these things would help us. We now know fighting in these people's wars make things worse for us. Desert Storm, Grenada, Haiti, Afghanistan, Iraq. I mean, we fought everywhere but the fucking moon for these people, and they'll bring in 40 million people from other places to eliminate us. Don't fight for anybody that ain't trying to pay you. Don't fight for anyone that's not. I had an uncle who served in Vietnam. He died from Agent Orange poisoning. I had two. Actually, I had three that died from Agent Orange poisoning. And then my friend, her brother, in Vietnam, he had shrapnel in him from the late 1960s that the VA never took out. He had malaria that they never treated. He had Agent Orange exposure. Remember when I was with you, Sister Miriam? Her brother died when I was there. The VA watched this man for 50 years suffer and didn't tell him until it's time for him to die. Didn't tell my uncle why he's got all these mental problems. It's the Agent Orange poisoning. Why the Agent Orange triggered a super debilitating lupus. My family, cousins living destitute. And by the way, the VA, little racist there, was cheating all the black men out of their VA benefits. Black veterans commit suicide at the rate 900 times that of white veterans. What's that in my tooth? There. That was something in my teeth. Oh my God. That's embarrassing. Looked like I had a chipped tooth. I think that's a grape. Look, hear me out, people. This is something that we must sit out. But what we can't sit out is our struggle to get, we don't have much longer, because these other people are coming stronger. These people of the other groups, once they become much stronger and bigger in America, they're going to be completely opposed to us getting anything. The only time to get reparations is now. Don't sit that battle out. Before I'll be a religious slave, I'll be buried in my grave. And as Dr.
Amen,
King,
brother.
I ain't gonna study war no more as a religious whole. Reparations or die, but damn it, I'm gonna try. I want all of you to understand that this is a religious war. We're gonna be at risk. Be careful about where you travel. There's gonna be terrorism and bombing and shit. I don't think that this is World War III, but it's another act. World War II, in reality, started, if truth be told, in the 1920s, shortly after World War I ended, when the Japanese tried to get the League of Nations to take stand against racism because the Japanese were being squeezed for not being white. And the League of Nations said, fuck you gooks. And that's when the Japanese recognized we're going to be squeezed out and destroyed if we don't get some shit for ourselves. And shortly thereafter, that's when the fascist Japanese militarists took over, really took over Japan and started taking the country in a war direction. It's about the same time that the French went in and took the Ruhr and the Rhineland from Germany because the Germans weren't trying to pay them fast enough for their indemnity. This is what sort of gave strength to the whole movement that Hitler was pushing, that ultimately came to power. There were certain moves, right? And there were wars before the really big World War II kicked off. There was a civil war, or a war going on in Israel in the 1930s. There was a war in Iraq. Okay, there were wars in different places, right? There's a war between Russia and Japan in the 1930s. Not a big war, but it happened. The Italians went into Ethiopia in 1935. The Japanese were in Manchuria in 1931-32. I mean, 1939 is later. We're going in the direction of a world war. It's in its beginning stages. This stuff has been going on for a minute. We're headed towards that. In fact, all these economies are in trouble. The only thing that these people know how to do to restart their economies is a war. Demolition and reconstruction. It's a cycle. Build up, destroy, rebuild. And the banking families that have money saved, they're the ones that buy up everything and get richer and richer, and the people get poorer. We don't need to belabor this much longer, other than to say that you've got religious fanaticism. And I'm going to talk a little about this, because I have to tell you, I grew up in a Zionistic family. Everything that people in Israel did was right, always. And there was nothing to counter that. You see terrorism, people hijacking planes. Every time someone's doing something fucked up, it's a Muslim Arab. Like, damn, what's up with these people? Yes, I mean, thank God for Israel and shit, man. Man, they need to make Israel the whole fucking Middle East, calm this shit down. Damn. Can't get on the plane. Folks shooting folk up at airports and train stations and on boats and shit. Like taking hostages and shit. Without any understanding as to how people had suffered, right? There's always a war. And of course, the media is manipulated by certain people. And by the way, that power has been allowed. All you need is a couple of lawmakers to check the tech bros or the media bros, and this shit would change. It really could happen. The monopolies that these people have, very easily challenged. They're bribing or paying other people, and therefore that's why they're allowed to do it. Again, I came up with evangelicals. And Israel's God's holy land, Jews are God's chosen people, and these people are going to come to kill them, and God's going to wipe all their asses out, and God's going to come and take us all to heaven and fuck up all the Muslims. People teach this shit, and people really do believe it, and the devil's people are the Muslim people, and God's people are the Christian people, and uh, now don't get me wrong, I'm a Christian, I believe in Jesus and all, but what, where is it saying in the damn Bible I'm supposed to be for war? I'm supposed to help the Israelis kill and murder as many Arabs so they can just get mad and try to kill their asses so we can have Armageddon and Jesus can come and get our asses and we'll laugh all our way to heaven. Why would people who serve the God that said love neighbors support people's land being taken, them being bombed, them being killed? That doesn't line up. But again, for the religious whores, the evangelicals, and little fake-ass black people that run with them, who care more about Israel than they do about reparations or justice for black people, hang around, you'll find out they're real. They never talk about race. They'll talk about vouchers and school choice and abortion. I call them single-issue niggers because they only talk about one thing. And it's something that they think white people agree with. They'll never talk about anything like police killing us, mass incarceration, gentrification, credit red, anything that's really fucking black people, not a sound. So they'll find an issue that white people accept, in particular if they're Catholic, and they'll stick with that. Because the Catholic don't mind blacks being around as long as they're not in control. Some of the white evangelicals don't even like black people around. They're just Nazified out their ass. Although Hitler was a good Catholic. Real talk. And if you watch the Angry Black Men's Book Club, I got a book on the German church. And because I've been talking about this, so I'll be talking again about race, massacres, injustice, and so forth. And I'll also be looking at religion. Because religion, what people believe determines what they'll do. Something a lot of black Americans don't understand. Thinking, oh, if a tether's melanated, they're going to understand our cause. No. If they don't believe, if I believe I'm Ibibio, I'm not a black American. Shit, that's them and white people. Shit, I don't care. I'll play both sides. Which is what tethers and others do, illegals do. What people believe and what they know guides what they do. The problem with a lot of black people is we don't know who the hell we are, what the fuck we are, where the fuck we came from, or why. And think, well, if I've got like designer clothes, I've got a decent job, all that shit doesn't mean much when stuff gets rough. In a Hunger Games world, you need to know the hell what people think, who they think, what they believe, and why, and who the hell you're surrounded by. And if you don't know, you're a buffoon. So these religious wars, what people believe about God and values, like the church where someone tried to shot some people at the church in Michigan, and they're going to be shooting a lot more. Someone that believes something may blow up the school that your kids are in, or blow up your place of work, or there may be some people that don't like this whole Western sodomite shit and kill a bunch of people at Disney World, at Disneyland. I'm just thinking like a terrorist. If I wanted to just fuck up America, attack Disney World, right? Do some shit at Great Adventures, like blow up motherfuckers on a roller coaster. Like really fuck up the nightly news and shit. That's how terrorism works. What better way to get people's attention that we can get you will hurt you where you are? Why not blow up a underwater tunnel like the Harlem Tunnel in New York, or blow up something like the Baltimore Tunnel and cause thousands of people or hundreds of people to drown? This is the kind of stuff that we might face very soon. And people will feel justified. I'm doing it for God. I'm not killing. Or I'm killing, but I'm killing wicked people for God. I'm a hoe, but I'm a righteous hoe. I'm a theological hoe, a doctrinal hoe, an ecclesiastical hoe. I'm a Quranic hoe, a Kabbalistic hoe, a Talmudic hoe, a right-wing Bible school hoe. I'm a evangelical hoe, an apostolic hoe. And people act on that. I'm a Catholic hoe, a Protestant hoe, a Sunni hoe, an Alawite hoe, an Alavi hoe, a Shia hoe, an Almagia hoe. And I will blow up on your ass and shoot you over what I believe. And this is promised in the scriptures, wars and rumors of wars. And that's what the Bible says, and that's what we got. So I want to say to you that Donald Trump, who I don't think believes in anything other than his own ego, hog shit, who's the Secretary of Defense, Ted Cruz, who I think that they have compromising video. I saw something that looked like his ear at a homoerotic party where they're in the bubbles and all the boys are with each other. That was out not too long, about 8-9 years ago. Don't believe me, look it up. That's why his nickname was Bubble Boy. And then I have to say this, because nobody talks about it. In the Talmud, so you'll understand what a lot of Khazarians and other Jews believe, non-Jews are goy. It means like cattle. We're less than God's chosen people, GCPs, right? Pedophilia and a lot of this stuff is okay, especially if it's done to goys. If you notice, we have human trafficking and people mess with kids. I'm not saying it's exclusively one group or another. But I want to say to you that Epstein, how come that list hasn't been revealed? And I'm going to say something. I can't prove it, but I'll repeat what I said earlier. Dick Gregory told me and other people that he saw video of an unsaid person that's a reality television show that's now in politics was having sex with underage boys in Russia, and that there's video and pictures, and that people have it. It could be AI, it could be manufactured. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying to you that Dick Gregory told me. I questioned Dick Gregory. He cussed me out. I didn't start talking about this until last week to try to figure out why it seems as if no matter what, they're driven to war. They've got to get this war. There's an article. I'll happily send you a copy. Email me at DrRandyShort. I know I sent it to Sister Aj and other people. The Iranians supposedly hacked into the Mossad computers, and they found that they hacked into the Mossad, hacked into the MI6 stuff in London, but in particular, they got the Mossad thing. They got all kinds of compromising information on leaders in America, Israel, and all over Europe. The Iranians have supposedly pictures of people having sex with animals, kids, people screwing each other, all kinds of really vile stuff. They may even have the Abu Ghraib pictures. They can put this stuff out at any time. Certain people allege, I'm not saying it's true, that there are pictures of unsaid Republican politicians with Epstein and Democratic politicians with Epstein. And these people will do anything, as wicked as they are, to have the appearance of good before man, because they don't believe in God, they believe in themselves. These people who've lived wicked lives, like Diddy and them, that have videos on everybody, these people don't want you to know how dirty, nasty, and vile, and that they'll screw a child. Like there's allegations that Obama was with Justin Bieber. I'm not saying it's true, but then again, I can believe it. There was a clip that came up. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's Virginia Giuffre, the woman that sued the Prince Andrew over in England, who claims that she, this tape and her voice, it could be fake, said that Obama was messing with children and shit down on Epstein Island. I'm not saying it's true, but remember when Obama left office in January 2017, first he went to stay with the Hispanic gay couple out in California, and then they went down to the Caribbean to be on Branson. Branson's yacht, and all these weird people. What's this other guy? Geffen. All these bisexual and strange people from Hollywood down there. And Obama went down to be around Virgin Islands near Epstein's Island right after he left office. All of these politicians, if they've done any of this sex stuff, mess with kids, and I call them Ofaga for a reason, I repeat, I'm not saying I'm chummy with Obama. I don't like him. But I will say the rumor in 1989, 90, that Obama was sexually harassing the Jewish boys on the Harvard Law Review is something that a lot of people heard. And you'll never hear much about the Harvard Law Review and Obama and how long he was president of the Law Review. You got to ask yourself, why? Is it because he couldn't keep his paws off of white boys, Jewish? And then you wonder why certain politicians, they get these folks, set them up young and early, then they can get them to do whatever they want. Because I'll show pictures of you screwing a little kid. Now, they put you with them, hoping you'll do it so they could get you. This is what Epstein was doing. There are allegations that the Iranians know where Epstein is and he's alive. And understand, what if Epstein were to give a different take on his relationship with an unsaid politician in the United States? I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying, how would it look? Are y'all hearing me? And speaking of religious whores, if you've been paying attention to these evangelicals, Daystar, and what, all of these folks who are getting into trouble, messing with kids, drugs, all of that, all of your evangelical religious types, the kind that want to kill everybody for Israel, they can't keep their clothes on. They're stealing, they're lying. Their wives with their big ass World Trade Center length hair and shit. This stuff's crazy. But that's what this is all about. And it's a war between good and evil. And I'm not making any government or the other righteous. But I am saying this is a fight between light and darkness. And our light is our damn money and us getting our shit together right here in the United States. I'm going to land my plane. I might do a reading because I want to talk about this massacre in Palestine, Texas. And so, but I want to put that out there. And I just ask you to avoid getting caught up. Pray for peace. I do. I don't want anyone killed. I don't. Iranian people were very nice to me. I like them. Know some really nice Jewish people. Know some good white people. Very good. No, but these are things that are going to happen whether we like them or not. I believe that all of our politicians are paid by AIPAC and other people, and they're manipulated by lobbyists and others, and they're corrupt. And living in D.C., this is a pretty nasty, sexy, grimy place. I thank God 44 years ago, my gut feeling to turn down an opportunity to go to the Capitol paid school to work on Capitol Hill. I'm glad I turned it down because that was the year the sex scandal came out, that the congressmen were fucking all the guys in the school I would have gone to. I wanted to get out of public schools. Some says, love the niggas you're with. I already knew, and I could just tell you, living in D.C., we know about congressmen, people coming around chasing little black kids and shit. This stuff's gone on for hundreds of years here. They're nasty as fuck. They do what the hell they want. And now anybody can find out because things can be recorded. This city's always been nasty and dirty. Its number one business outside of government were bars and whorehouses. The city's shaped like a pussy with the dick stuck in the middle of it. The Washington Monument, it's dirty, it's vile, and all that comes out of it is dirty and vile, unfortunately. I wish it weren't so. George Washington was a freak. Jefferson was a freak. Their founding motherfucking fathers were freaks and religious holes for white supremacy. I'm a religious hole for the Most High God that says love neighbor as self. And part of loving my neighbor is to help us get our MFM. I'm going to sign out for now on behalf of the Angry Black Man's Book Club. This is Dr. Randy Short, having given you just an impromptu thing. At some point, I'm going to talk about this goddamn Diddy trial, which I think is bullshit. I want to see where the missing kitties are, but that's a whole different conversation. Be safe. Pray for your servicemen and women, your civilian black folks that in places like Jordan. They're in Georgia too, Georgia, SSR, former Soviet Union, Republic. Pray for people who are National Guard units that have been unfairly deployed into places of war zones. If you can, avoid. I'm not against military service, but not under these circumstances. Don't get used. You don't want to be a cannon fodder at a Stalingrad coming to America. And it was one thing I'm glad I got to tell you this. Russia's being incredibly quiet. And I want to remind you guys of something that's not being said. And when they do these things, they're doing it for evil reason. Okay? June 22nd, 1941 was when 3.5 to 4 million people in service of Adolf Hitler attacked Russia. They started attacking Iran yesterday, literally on the 22nd almost. You have to understand that's to fuck with Russia too. To put the bombing of Iran on the 84th anniversary of the invasion of Russia by Hitler and Trump's German. And this kind of shit, speaking of religious holes, people do these things on dates to traumatize people. Russian people are very familiar with June 22nd. June 22nd is always a major day of observation for the 40 million or 30 to 40 million Russians killed by the Germans and their allies. To attack an ally that borders Russia on, that's some scary shit. None of your news people are telling you that today this is what happened 84 years ago, and then saying for Trump and them to do a surprise attack. Because of Russia's time zones are ahead of us, it happened on the 22nd of June. You can push people too far and folks snap. Our white American friends who've gotten away with this shit for so long, they have no idea about getting checked, but a checking is coming. And pray for peace. Pray they don't shut the door off of Hormuz. Expensive gas, expensive food, terror attacks, violence, suicides, suffering that we've never envisioned. Because people are religious holes and they will fight, die, and screw for what they believe in. I'm signing out 22nd of June. It's just in poor taste. It was done also to threaten Putin. Bombing Iran over its nukes to chump Putin. It didn't work. I'm out of here, guys. We'll get together again very soon. Bye-bye.